Hey y'all, so I just want to give you a quick update on how my shift been going. I'm going home very soon. I can barely even freaking talk. But when I first came in, it was cool. Got my report, did this and the third. And then come to find out, like, it was like 3:30 and I didn't realize like how late it was in the day. And we only had one CNA. I was like, what the hell? So I'm calling down, trying to see where all my is. And they're like, oh, this person says they're 10 minutes away, they're 15 minutes away. This other person, we've been calling her and she hasn't, called us back. So we don't know. So I'm like, okay, time go by, more time goes by. I'm like, what's going on? So it was like maybe 4 o'clock. And I went ahead and went up there to talk to them. They was like, well, we're still waiting on her to call back. I'm like, to see what her response is to our voicemail we left. I said, it's 4 o'clock. She was supposed to be here at 2:30. I feel like the fact that this person not here is a response. Like, and I said it like that. I said it kind of a key way, like a little bit more like, it's 4 o'clock. If she ain't coming by now, I think that's kind of her response, like she's not coming. So, which I gonna do at this point. So it's like, well, I'm not surprised that she hasn't called back. I'm like, then I come back on the floor. They're like, well, if she doesn't come, then we'll do this, we'll do that. I'm like, if you move a CNA over here, just know, like, the longer it takes for you to move somebody over here, they're going to be more upset, because if they come over here and you move them at 5 o'clock from 2:30 to 5, they more than likely they was taking baby people to the bathroom. They might have did a shower. They was getting people up out the bed, getting them ready to go to dinner. And now you want them to come over here and do the same exact thing because that assignment has not been touched. So, but people, if they don't do the work, they just feel like they see employees as pawns. Like, if you need somebody here, move the person there. They don't see actually the work behind it. But at the end of the day, if you're an employee, you go where you're needed, right? But in actuality, in reality, like, that's not fair, but hey, at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? So that's going on. Yeah, that's kind of exhausting to even talk about, like, to recap this stuff, because honestly, I just be like, whatever, like, let me just go home. But I'm recapping it for y'all so I get more of an idea of, like, how it is sometimes working in a nursing home. So anyhow, that happens, and finally they're like, oh, well, such and such said she'll be here at 4:15. It was like 4:20. I'm like, okay. And then also one of the CNAs was like, oh yeah, she gonna be here, like, we cool, da da da. CNA from another floor, like, we cool. I talked to her on Facebook. She said she gonna be here. I'm like, why didn't she call the job? That's what I'm thinking in my head, like, okay. I was like, well, that's it. I told her, I said, well, they said that they've been calling her. She was like, shoot, I probably wouldn't pick up either if I was her. I'm like, why not? You grown. If you're running late to your job, call your job and tell them I'm running late. Even if it's going to take you 2 hours to get there, tell them. Because they're going to figure it out by the time you get there that you're 2 hours late. So, whatever. That happens. Okay, we go through the shift. It is what it is. Then, like, around 8 o'clock, I'm looking at one of my patients, and I'm like, who's supposed to put her to bed? And the aide, of course, the one that was late, was like, I don't know. I ain't got her, because they know I can't go in their room. I can't have that patient. I was like, okay, so did you switch her out with somebody else? Such and such can't have her either. I'm like, oh my gosh. She's like, well, I guess such and such gonna have to have her. And so I'm just like, I was like, y'all didn't tell me? She's like, well, I thought they had wrote it down. What? Where were they gonna write that? Y'all know I don't work here. I don't know none of y'all. I don't know none of y'all. Y'all don't know me. It's called being verbal. But how could this person don't even call into their job when they're not coming? So what can I expect? And people be wondering, like, why it be an issue? Because you're not professional. Let people know. If you can't take care of this person because you don't know how to talk to people, or you can't stand a resident with an attitude, if you can't do that, then let me know that, so I know how to move through my day. So I end up just taking the patients to the bathroom, getting them together, putting them in the bed, getting them all the way together, because I was like, I don't feel like it's basically 9 o'clock at this point. Like, I'm not about to find an aide to find, because you should have did this. If you know you can't take care of a patient and you take that assignment, you need to say, hey, just so you know, nurse, I can't take that patient, da 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 da. Communication. But whatever, that is what it is. So I want to give y'all a little TT. So when I first came in, the day shift nurse was like, As soon as I came in this morning, this dang on CNA like went off on me, talking about something. They up in here paying y'all premium pay, and y'all up in here doing this and the third. So I guess it was a staff CNA was getting mad at the nurse, talking stuff to the nurse because she's getting paid premium pay to come in here as an agency nurse. And the agency nurse was like, why does this kept? Like, honey, we on a whole different pay like scale. So I don't even know why you on, like, even if we wasn't agency, if I was just a regular staff nurse, I still would be on a different pay scale than you. So what's the plus? At the end of the day, I hate that. Like, why count people money? Like, one of the CNAs was like, honey, I can forward you the information to apply to. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, you can do the same thing I'm doing. That's how I feel too. Like, you definitely can. The benefits at 401k, trust and believe, the amount of money you're gonna make, it will definitely, you'll be okay. Get an IRA, get your own insurance, or continue the insurance you got now, just pay the difference. You're good. Trust and believe. You're good. But anyways, that's that. Stay positive. Drink my water. Top any loose ends I freaking gotta deal with. I'm cool though. I'm in a good space. I came to an epiphany about something, and I'm glad I did. Like, I was talking to myself while I was driving. And I swear, when I be doing that, and I turn off my phone, like I don't have nothing planned, I just start talking to myself about my feelings and like situations, I be coming to like the best fucking conclusions. It's like when you journal, but for me, it's like talking to myself. Yep, that's what I do. I'm doing it right now, looking at this camera. Okay, y'all, let me go be somebody nurse for like the next 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna take some little notes based off my conversation I had with myself while I was driving. And I'm gonna go from there. I love y'all. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Go check out my other channel if you're into, like, you know, different things like crystals and plants and eating good and living your best life. If you're into that type of stuff, go check out my other channel, because I'm definitely that nurse in that regard. I love you all. I'm so glad I went to the gym the other day. I feel so good. I really, really wish that I went today. The time just didn't work out, but I'm gonna go tomorrow, mañana. I'm doing 4 days a week. Get on it, be on top of things, mentally and emotionally. I realized that for me, because I was like, why does my confidence feel so low? Let me just get a little personal information. So why is my confidence so low? And I was like, well, the things that help me to feel more confident is when I'm doing adult stuff, paying my bills on time, saving my money, being very responsible with my children, being disciplined with my children, making sure they do this at this time, do this at that time, do this, do that. Making sure they're on top of the things they need to be on top of, even though they're 2 and 3. But you know, like brushing their teeth, washing their hands, cleaning up behind themselves, doing their numbers and their letters every day, like things like that. Being on top of them as far as that helps me to feel more confident, because I'm like, okay, I'm being responsible. But I like don't be wanting to be responsible. And then I just went into the reason like why I don't like doing that, like why it makes me have anxiety, and I just came to the conclusion of what is the origin of it. So yeah, I'm working on that, because I am a very responsible person. But I was like, why do I put myself in positions where I'm not being responsible? Like, why do I do that? Like the other day I had no gas in my car. When I tell you I had no gas, and I had left my freaking debit card at the house. And what's so crazy, y'all, it was like the universe was talking to me legit. Because as soon as I get out of my car, I was recording the video, walking into Planet Fitness, and I heard this lady something. You think you grown and all that? You want to play grown and all this? Can't even keep gas in your dang on car. Who does that? You running out of gas. You supposed to be grown. And I was just like, is she talking to me? She was on the phone, I guess, talking about somebody else going off. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to put some gas in my car. What the hell am I doing? It's just like stuff like that. Like I be having money to do stuff and I don't do it. I'm like, girl, what the hell are you doing? Like, take care of business. So that's all it is, y'all. I just gotta be grown. Rock forever 21, but just turned 30.